You're taken from the railway station, in my case it was in Aldershot, to the depot where you go to, in a 3-ton comma truck. You're all got out of the truck, you're all lined up, and that's the first time you ever come about lining up, army style.
Unloaded through the quartermaster's stores, sergeant there to greet you nice with a nice big voice. You were given your army number, which you held across your chest on a board, and photographed more or less like a convict. And that was for you to go in your army paybook.
The first day was literally a matter of being indoctrinated into the regime of military life, and going down to the storeroom to collect our BD, as we called it, and army uniform.
You got your army number and you just collected all your kit, and there was quite a lot of it.
And it's just as you see it on the films. The first man gives you your boots, the next one gives you your uniform, the next one gives you your shirt, your underwear, etc, etc, etc.
You know, boots this side, boots that side, your tunic. Some fitted, some didn't, we had to take them back. But some of the guys there, they've been in the army for a certain long time, and every time you'll be sorry. So thank you very much.
We were given a clothing allowance to buy a hat. The hat was ours, it was fitted for us. There was a wonderful chap from Geeves and Hawkes measuring our heads, and the hats came several days later. All the rest was clothing off the shelves which were there in the army unit. We were given 2 battle dresses each. We had to buy our own shoes. Officers had shoes, not boots.
At size 6 and 7/8, they gave it to you. Everything really, your steel helmet. The only thing you didn't get at that time was your rifle.
And you've got to carry everything else, your bedding and every single item, and you've got to carry it.
You collected your mattress at the end and your bedding, 4 blankets, or 3 blankets as I remember, and your pillow, and you was expected to cart the lot across all round the square to the barrack room, which was quite a way.
It's shock horror again, you know, you're carrying all the clothes that you're going to wear for 2 years, and your bedding, etc, etc, you know. Then you're shown your bunk, and this is your space. You will keep it clean and tidy, and then get on with it.
We're divided into platoons, and then at that time, obviously, there was the brick-built barracks at Budbrook, but there were a lot of wooden barrack rooms. We occupied the wooden barrack rooms.
There was a corporal in both barrack rooms, which hold about 35 people, and he gave you instructions how to fold your bed, how to make your bed. Just showed you once, and if you were struggling, the dad used to come and help you a little bit, but only for the first day or first 2 days. After that, you was expected to know it. And so the basic training went like that right the way through. You was shown how to do things, and if you didn't do it right after 2 days, well, you got into the blacklist really.
Your civilian clothes go into a locker, which is at the side of your bed. That is yours, and you don't see them then for usually for 2 years. They're there, or unless you come on leave.
It was all Bull for the boots and Blanco for the webbing and Brasso for your cap badge and what have you.
Usually you had breakfast early in the morning, and then you went back to your barrack room, and then this is when you had to make all your beds, and all the kit was laid out if it needed to be for kit inspection, and then the floor was taken care of, and then virtually you stood by the side of your bed, and then the inspection would take place.
Everything had to be in perfect order, laid on the top of the bed. Everything had to be blancoed, folded neatly with square edges. If an edge wasn't particularly square, it was no good leaving it curled or cornered, anything like that. It had to be perfectly square.
And the test for the tight blankets is that they used to bounce a penny on the blanket. If it bounced back, it was good. If it didn't, you did it again. And you kept doing it until it did do it.
And if it wasn't correct, the sergeant or the orderly officer who was doing the inspection would just grab hold of it, throw it across the floor and say, "Okay, soldier, start again."
The floor area itself, everybody messed about with that one because it was absolutely highly polished. Down the centre of the barrack room was like glass. They used what they call a bumper, and that was a very heavy weight with a cloth underneath. You had big, huge tins of polish that you would go down and you'd throw it on the floor, literally hands full at a time, and then that used to be bumped into the floor, and then the head would be changed on the bumper, and it would be a polishing bumper head, and then you would start polishing. Once you'd gone from one end of the barrack room to the other end, no one was allowed to walk on that floor until the inspection had taken place, and it was taking place every day.